Hello, everyone. It is your girl, Mayday Mayhaim. Ew. And it's our podcast, Mayday Mayhaim Podcast, number 189. And we are here for our Sunday's conversation with what? Who? Just Bob Bowman. Let me bring him up.
Hello. How are you? Can you hear me?
Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear
Just
me?
Bob Bowman, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I see you. Can you see me?
Are
I'm
we
here. You can't see me? You can't hear me? I'm right here.
I'll see you guys on the other one.
Can you see me? Can you hear me? I'm right here. You can't hear me. Oh, wow. I thought everything was going good, but I guess not. Well, I'm live again by myself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I got. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
No, I was able to see you, but then you wasn't able to hear me.
I told you no soon. I went live. What was gonna happen? What did I tell you?
Well, you said it was gonna kick you out, but it didn't.
It
What
didn't.
happened was, huh?
Oh, now it's letting me back.
Yeah, it didn't kick you out. It was just you couldn't hear me when I was talking.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I see again. It's kicked me out completely over here.
Oh, okay.
It's completely kicked me out.
All right. Well, how's everything going?
Well, at least they was able to see my face this time.
That's good.
Last time they were not able to see me at all. So at least this time they were able to see my face. I can give the computer that much.
Well, I thank the computer for the beginning of it.
Thank you for the beginning, computer. You still suck in my world. Still totally suck. I don't like you. And you're gonna make me take you to the junkyard. You know, when the rise of AI rise up, I'm gonna make sure you are at the lowest part of their totem pole. Make you a footstool. You ain't even good enough to be a toaster. I'm sick of you, computer. I've done you well. But anyway, we good for talking about this little raggedy ass computer over here. But we here talked about what today? That rizz, that swagg,
Game.
that game, that machismo.
Right. I mean, it's a topic that, I've talked about before. And, my perspective is different from a lot of people's perspective. But then there's some that I've listened to or had conversations with out in the world of YouTube. Like it's some people that actually see things the way that I see it. So, like, as far as game, I want to hear your perspective first. Like, what would you consider game?
Game, you know how you got that swag, how you talking to me, how you approaching me, you know how you dress and how you smell, and you smelling good, you looking good. You know what I'm saying? You like, hey, how you doing, pretty lady? You know, I don't know how to talk like a man, but hey, how you doing? You looking nice. Your feet must be tired because you've been running through my mind all day. No, don't come with no cheesy line like that. Don't do that. Somebody gonna slap you in the eye if you do that. Don't say that, y'all. But it's all presentation, all the way you perceive yourself, the way you got that je ne sais quoi, that aura, that about you. That's just that walk, that talk, that oh my God. And everybody got swag. So I don't want to hear nobody in the audience saying, I ain't got swag. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Everybody got swag.
Okay, well, I hear your perspective, and
But so give me
perspective,
yours. Right.
my perspective of game, it's knowledge of self,
Mm-hmm.
knowledge of society and how society works, like the
Mm-hmm.
unwritten rules of how things go, because you don't have instructions for everything. Sometimes you have to know how to go with the flow or read a room
Mm-hmm.
and go from there.
Absolutely.
um you know Personal appearance, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's something that's out of your control, because how you look and how you appear to somebody is a part of that game. Like, somebody like, say for instance, I'm gonna use an example like Barry White, for example. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Barry White, at one point in his career, he was considered a sex symbol, right?
Yes.
Now, but if you look at him, and if he was just a regular 9 to 5er on the street and he wasn't Barry White, the Barry White that we know, he wouldn't have got as much female attention as he had, because part of the game was that he was talented.
It was
Like, he
his
was,
voice.
his voice and his talent. Like, he
Talent.
was very
Yeah.
talented. So he was able to draw a lot of money. And when you have a lot of money and you have talent, you have a skill set to where people not only appreciate what you do, but they're actually willing to spend money to see you do it. That's a part of the game. Charisma, the way that you say things, the way that the words come out of your mouth, whether it sounds good or it doesn't sound good, that plays a part in it. The way you dress, and sometimes you could dress very nice, but then if you don't have uh workout game, uh the way that it needs to be, that can be a strike against you. Like, some people, they won't look at it like that. Like, it all depends on the person that you are giving that game to, whether they are receptive of it or not. At the end of the day, is because you have a lot of people out here like game coaches that'll be like, oh, the reason why you not attracting women or getting women to date you is because you don't have any game, and I'll teach you this or that. And then
Mm.
they sell it, but then it's like you try to use it, and then you end up still in the same like, say for
I know
instance
what
you a
you're saying. I see
guy,
what you're saying.
say for instance you a guy and you want to attract, like, it's kind of like Hitch,
Okay.
where
I remember the movie with Will Smith and
yeah, the white guy from
yeah.
King of Queens. Now,
Yeah, I know who you're talking
they
about.
it's like, say for instance you that guy from King of Queens, where you
Mm-hmm.
heavy set, awkward, don't know
Mm-hmm.
how to really like express yourself the way that you need to in order to attract somebody.
Don't know how to
and
right.
and you have this woman that's like, most people would consider out of your league, that you really want to be with. And then you have some guy trying to teach you how to be with that woman, or, like, and it's like, that doesn't work all the time, because it's like,
No.
that's not realistic.
And
And
again,
then
it's a
you,
movie.
right.
It's a movie.
But you have people out here that actually try to sell game to people, which
Yeah.
is a game in itself. And then you got these people that's like,
Pushing
oh,
P,
I
trying
yeah,
to
like,
sell game. Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I like, I got this and I've been using it and it's still not working. What's going on? And they say, oh, you're not doing it enough, or you're not trying hard enough. And they know that that guy is at a certain caliber, to where, like, certain women are out of his league, so to speak, but they don't want to tell him that, because if they do, they lose their revenue, because it's not
Well,
showing the results.
well, let's be
Go
real.
ahead.
Certain women, we can sense out bullshit. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We can sense out that this is not who you really are. Okay. This is not who you really are. And that's why you have someone showing you, oh, this is how you supposed to get the ladies. This is not the authentic you. So again, you're not giving yourself the authentic you, your authentic self. You're not giving someone the real you. You're giving a made up persona that someone is teaching you. But again, women, we don't want a made up persona. We just want the original you. And you see men with no jobs, no cribs, ain't got nothing, no cars, no none, and they got 5, 6, 7 women. And you're like, they got game, they got swag, and they have all these women and they don't have anything. And you have a man that has a job, a car, a place, stable, and he couldn't find a woman to save. He's like, oh, I don't have game. No, it's not that you don't have game. It's that you're not in the game of using women. You're not in the game of being something that you're not. You have to understand, some of these men that are telling men, oh, this is what you do to get women, it's still a facade, because you're still using something that's not authentically you to get these women. And then when these women wake up and see that, yo, this is not who you really are, it's a revolving door. It's not authentically you.
Well, I get what you're saying, but it's women that know that game is being ran on them and they still accept it
Some
because
women don't. No, some I can honestly tell you. I can honestly tell you some women do not know that. They do not know. I dated a man one time and it was so eye-opening. He said, I'm gonna tell you, a man is gonna tell you exactly what you want to hear for exactly as long as he can tell you until you catch on. He said, if I can tell you what you want to hear for 15 years and it take you 15 years to catch on, he said, good ups to me. He said, but if I can tell you something, you catch on within 15 minutes, he said, good ups to you. He said, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. He said, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. He said, now some women catch on easy, some women don't. Again, some women do not know that they are being told a game or sold a game because it looks so real. It feels so real. No, he can't be doing this. No, this can't be a game. And they don't even know that they're caught in these traps. Just like some men, they don't know that they're being caught in traps. They really don't know. They have no clue until the shit blows up in their face.
well, from what I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just going off of what I've seen in the community, that
Absolutely.
there are women that know that game is being
Yes.
ran on them, but
Mm-hmm.
they like the guy so much they're like, I don't
They're going
care
to
if
take it.
he's they gonna take it because like you know how they say game recognizes game, like she
Uh-huh.
probably has a game for him, even
And
though
game is
she
also to
think
be told and not sold either.
right. And so
So,
it's like she knows what's going on. She's like, all right, I'm just gonna let him hit and he'll enjoy it, and I'll enjoy it, and it'll just be that. Like she'll have that agreement in her mind already. Like, she already know what it is, even though he's not being 100% honest, or he's being honest, and she's just like, okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow of things. You know what I'm saying? Because game isn't deception all the time. Like
no.
how sometimes game is being upfront, but knowing how to say what it is that you want in a way that isn't offensive. Like, say for
Yes.
instance, a guy, he'll say, I don't really want to be in a relationship at this time in my life. Like, he'll tell that to somebody. And in
Then you have a
reality,
woman that thinks she can change that.
right. In reality, he's saying that I don't want a relationship with you, and maybe in the future, but at this time, no, I don't want a relationship with you, but we can have fun. And yeah, you have women out there, excuse me, you have women out there that think they can change a man from,
Yes.
like what he say, but if he's being honest with you and upfront with you about how it is that he feel, like there's nothing that you can really do to change that. But that's women that think that they have game to make a man change. You see,
And
so
but also you have to also look at it from this perspective too. Men will do for one woman what they won't do for another woman
And women do that as well. That's
as
because
well. It's both sexes. I can honestly say, for one man I did, and for one man I didn't do. Why? Because I don't know. Maybe this man had certain things that he did to make me want to do these things for him, and this man didn't. He didn't give me that want or drive to want to do these things for him. Vice versa.
or
You
what if
have
that man was finer than the other guy? The guy that you was doing the stuff for, he had the good D and he was good looking and he had that appearance that made you motivated you to want to do more, while the other guy was just kind of like, average or a little bit below average, and he didn't really like give you that spark to want to do more for him.
but see, I have to say, in that instance, what you just said, the roles was reversed. It was total opposite. The guy that was what you would call average and not that good looking, I was pretty much doing the most for him. Versus the cute guy that had the quote unquote good D and oh, he's fine, he good looking. Look, boy, go sound somewhere. Stop playing with me. It was a total difference because I already know. Let me tell you something. You good looking. I already know what it is. If I'm not doing what you want, you're gonna go find somebody else that's gonna do it. It's thousands of women beating your door in, trying to get in, do what you're gonna do. I don't have time for it. And again, he gave me that demeanor as though uh, I can go get another one. Well, we'll go get you another one. I'm gonna give that same energy you giving me. Versus the average guy, he wasn't giving me that energy. He gave me that energy as I want to grow, I want to build, I want to do something better. And okay, well, let's see where this go. Let's let's grow, let's build, let's do something. Again, it all depends on the mindset of the person that you are entangled with. It has to go with the mindset. And as we see nowadays, the more of the mindset that we seeing is men and women are in the conversation of life, the game, quote unquote, the game of life, to get what they want while they can by any means necessary. I don't give a hell who I hurt. I don't care who gets in the way, long as I get what I want. That's what we're into now, from my perspective, from what I've seen, from what I've experienced. Yeah, some women know the game. They gonna play the game. Look, I'm his side chick. Look, I already know he got a wife at home. I ain't gonna intrude on that. Look, long as he giving me A, B, C, D, E, I ain't got time. I'm gonna keep on going. I'm his Monday, and I high five his Thursday as I see them walk by on Friday. It is what it is. And then you have women that go into these things oblivion and don't know, men too, that don't know that their partners have other partners that they've been with for years. Again, it's the mindset, and it's who's pulling these strings, who's in control of this quote unquote game being played. But like you said, if both individuals know what's going on, look, this is just for fun. Fine. This is just for fun. We have no intentions on settling down with each other or being together. This is just something we're doing in our spare time. That means you can go out and do what you want to do. I can go out and do what I want to do. That is the game that we're playing right now. That's the quote unquote swag, the game that we're doing right now.
Right. But then you have people that go into those situations that in their mind they think that they can change the person from what it is that they said that how it was. Like you have men that
Change them.
get that idea that, oh, I can change this woman and I
Yes.
can get her to settle down with me if I
Yes.
do this and do that, and put the
Yes.
good D on her and treat her well. And but it's like
Yes.
she told you straight up front, like she wasn't looking for that from you. And
Yes.
the same thing with the men, like I mean with the women, because I've dealt and I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, I've dealt with both sides of that, where I was trying to
Yes.
change a woman, that I was just being casual with, and I was trying to get it serious, but she wasn't really feeling me like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
I had it where it was a woman that I was straight up with, and she, because it's like sometimes it's hard for people to tell if you're being sincere or if you're lying when you tell them the truth.
Right.
And they'll be like, "Oh, he might be saying this, but in the back of his mind, he might really want to be in a relationship, but he's just scared to be in a relationship, or he might feel like, like, you know, he probably want a woman that look like this, but if I give him the treatment that he actually deserves, he probably would look past my looks and look at my personality and fall for me." Like, you have these different mindsets that go on in people's heads.
Right.
So it's difficult out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some people can be honest and sincere with their game, some people can be lying with their game, but it's all about, you know what it is that you're looking for, and if you can detect that they're being a liar or if they're being honest, and if you see their honesty and you don't like what it is that they have planned for you or what their plans are, you have a right to back away from those situations. But if you know they're deceiving you, but you like, hey, I still want to, get it on with this person, or if they're being honest with you and you like, hey, I still want to see where this goes, then go ahead, go for it.
That's
That's where
entering
I'm
that.
at.
That's entering at your own risk,
Right,
because you entering at your own risk. You had already said this person, look, we can do this, but don't try to change me. Now, if you go into a situation trying to change this person, and this person go clean off, and your heart get broken, and this is some thin line between love and hate. I didn't told you now from the get go that this is not what this is supposed to be. And now, again, emotions is evolved. Anytime you even have sex with anyone, that's a connection. Emotions are involved. Feelings are involved. I don't care what nobody say. Oh no, ain't no emotions involved. No, deep down, emotions are involved. It's a connection. Feelings are involved. And then now, what you said you wasn't going to do, like you said, now you're trying to change this person. Now, all of a sudden, things are changing, and you want to know what this person is doing, where they at. Well, whoa, whoa, whoa! I just told you that this was not what that was, and now it's manifesting into something that it wasn't supposed to be. So yeah, it becomes a problem. It,
right.
it it becomes a problem.
So would you say that casual sex is not a good thing?
I wouldn't say it's not a good thing, but it's not a good thing for the wrong people. I put it like that, because
Right,
there are a lot of people that can have casual sex, and sex is meaningless to them. It's just a feeling. It's just, I just need to bust one and go on about my business. For men and women, look, I will never see you again. Let me go on and keep on going. But casual sex becomes a problem when both people are not casually, what I'm saying, in the same mindset. You might have one person that's saying, yeah, this is casual sex, but that one person has told the other person, I love you. Oh, I think
right,
we could date, or I think I want to court you, or I want to see you more. And now this other person's feelings are getting involved. So now one person is like, look, this is just a casual smash and grab, you know what I'm saying? And this other
right,
person is like, oh, I think I can see a future with this person. I think, this might be someone I can be with. And then bam, something occurs, and well, this was just casual anyway. Well, whoa, whoa, whoa. You didn't tell me that this was casual, but in my mind, I might have told you it was casual, but my feelings and emotions didn't show you was casual. I didn't tell you physically or emotionally it was casual. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference?
Right. I get you, and because it's sometimes you might be upfront with a person and be like, hey, I don't want a relationship, but then y'all have sex, and then like it's they
Like if I
get their
say, look,
feelings attached to it, and it's like, oh,
if I say, look, me and Bob, we finna look, Bob, look, yo, we finna go hang out for a little bit. Look, we finna go to the club. Whatever happened, it happened. All right, bro. Like, it is what it is. We still gonna be cool. We still gonna be friends. It's casual. We both have come to this agreement now, whether something happened that night or it don't. We both have came to the agreement. Look, yeah, this is this casual. Look, if something it happened, if it don't, we still not gonna look at each other weird or nothing. We'll be cool. You see what I'm saying? That would be casual. It would be something crazy if one of us like, well, this might turn into something. And the other one is like, no, this was just again, I was just running like what up, bro?
right,
And getting up out of here. Like, I never said I was trying to do that. That's the difference. And again, when emotions evolve and real intentions are not involved, and that's the thing. When you don't get to know somebody, that's another thing. Having casual sex with a person you just met 5 minutes ago, no, no, because again, you don't know. Like, you don't know these people intentionally.
right,
Because
and
anyone gonna tell you anything to get what they want anyway.
right, and then I was thinking also that like as far as you know you have to actually learn that person and learn if it's the right thing to do, even if that person say, hey, I could be casual with you, but if you look at their body language or the way that they interact with you and how they talk to you and what it is that they say they want for their future, and you look at all those things and then you say, hey, like, even though I might want to have casual sex with that person, like I know
Right.
that 9 times out of 10 that person gonna put their feelings into it,
Exactly.
and it's a dangerous slippery slope out here. But
Exactly. There's
as a
nothing wrong with it.
yeah, as adults we just have to we have to enter these type of situations at our own risk. Like, I know for myself, I'm keeping, things casual with me or
Yeah,
whatever woman that I have. But
exactly.
other than that, it's like, but I know that if I run into somebody that I actually like,
Right.
I might want to, take it to that next level. But at this point in my life, I'm thinking that I'm just going to stick to just being casual. But
Exactly. What
but
that's
some
what's
people can't
right now.
some people can't handle that, and they think that, oh, I can change that person's mind, and I'm like, if my mind is already made up, unless I want to change it for myself, like, you can't change it for me, I have to change it for
Absolutely.
myself.
I
And
agree.
that's, yeah, but that's a part of the game as
That's a
well,
part of
because
the game.
you have people out here that think that, oh, I can, if I put enough pressure on this person, or if I put enough, get these people to try to talk to them to get them to change their perspectives. And it's like, it's kind of stupid out here. And, you have society that plays a part in it, as far as like, they try to tell women like the type of men that's out of their league, or who they shouldn't, date, or, oh, you too good for this man because he's short or he doesn't look a certain way. And the same thing with the men. They'll say, oh, this woman, she's out of your league, or, oh, you could do better than this. It's like, at the end of the day, we all have to make choices on our own, and we all have to live with the consequences of those choices.
I
So
agree. Hey, bench thinker, what up, baby? Um, my question to you is, what type of caliber of woman would make you say, I don't want to be casual anymore? What type of woman?
whew, that's a tough question. I mean, that's a tough
What's
question
some of
because
what's give me 3 qualities that a woman would have, that would make you say, you know what, I don't want to do this casual thing no more.
well,
Just three qualities.
I have to look at her personality type and the way that she carries herself for
Mm-hmm.
one. The other thing is like how many children she has, like how many bodies she has or whatever. Because that, even though like some women say it shouldn't matter, it does.
Uh,
Um,
Come on, but is that fair?
I don't have any children, so life isn't fair. So
How
I
many
mean,
bodies is it fair? She said, well, how many bodies you got on you and you out here casually just giving little Bob Bowman out
but
here?
like, hey, it's up to her on whether or not she want to deal with me. You know what I'm
What if
saying?
this
So
woman, what if this woman is like, Bob, please, I love you. Please, Bob. And you like, no, you got 17 bodies on you. I can't do it.
like,
It's one body too many.
well, like 17, and this is
I
just
just
me
thought of
being
that number.
realistic. Like in this society, 17 isn't a lot.
Oh,
I'm just being,
okay. So 17 is a low number.
yeah,
Okay.
like nowadays it's a low number. I'm just being
Yeah,
real.
that's
So I'm
true. I'll give you that. Okay.
yes, but some men are not mature enough to like accept that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You're right.
So
Yeah.
it's all about maturity level as well as understanding the type of environment that we live in that comes into play with as far as game goes.
Okay.
It's
So
like
we got
go ahead. You
personality. So we got personality. Her
Mhm.
that goes with her maturity level, her thinking skills, how many children she got that goes along, like how many bodies she got up on her. Okay, so
Right.
what would be the third like redeeming quality for a
Like
woman
it
to be the Bowman squad for you?
financial management. Like she doesn't have to
Okay.
have a lot of money, but she got to know how to manage what she does have and not overspend and try
Oh,
to keep up with things. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she got to have her own style to her too. Like she can't be just raggedy out here. Like she got to be able to keep herself up, but at the same time be cautious of how much that she's spending. Like she got to be like she can't be spending as much as she's bringing in because that's leaving her at a net worth of zero. She got to be able to save and invest in things like that
oh,
and have a mind for that.
I feel that money. She got to be able to get her money, but we gotta go back to this body count thing. uh, I think you fucked up with that, but
No, I'm
well,
like
no,
it's
not fucked up. No, not that. That's the wrong word to use. But in mayhem, Mayday Mayhaim language, um, it's a comment. Benji, think up, please. What? I'm looking because I had to kind of squint a little bit because you saw me before this light is in my eye, and she has an absolutely point because that if men ask women about body count, the women they ask that should ask him how many his mother had. And I can't because body count is women. We be trying to get y'all, some satisfaction, and then we get tossed away after we get a satisfaction. And then we are told that our body count is too high, but for a man, it's okay. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, wow, body count. Like, okay, for me, for instance, I got 4 kids. Would that mean my body count is high because I got 4 kids? I'm just using me as an example because I can only use me as an example. I can't use nobody else. I can only use me. And I'm not offended. Trust me.
okay.
I've been offended by worse. You cannot offend me by this question. Trust
Okay.
me, y'all. I have been offended by worse. Trust me, I have.
Okay. Like,
I have 4 children. Now I got 4 kids.
well, I'm not looking at the body count, but I'm saying that you brought 4 lives into this world And
Mm-hmm.
like women, they tend to say, "Oh, if you get in a relationship with me, you don't have to worry about my children." Like that's a lie, because if I'm in a relationship with you, ultimately I gotta have a relationship with your children, and that's
Right.
5 mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? And when you struggling, I'm supposed to, if I'm like in a committed relationship with you, I have to help you. I have to, hold you down. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And help you with those children, help you feed those children as well as yourself, or help you with paying bills or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the reasons why,
Yeah,
like
I'm
I'm
listening.
just, yeah, that's a hard sell for me. Like somebody that has a lot of children like that, or and I'm not saying that like she isn't worthy of finding anybody, but I'm talking about as far as me, because I don't have any children. I'm not going
Right.
to put myself in that situation, because that's a little bit too much for me, because I don't have any children of my own. But if I was to get
Absolutely.
into a
I
relationship with
agree.
somebody with a whole bunch of children, I would have to take on that responsibility. Now, I've known men that's done that. Like my step grandfather, he took on my grandmother, and she had a whole bunch of children. And I respect him. I've told him in recent times that I had a lot of respect for him. I commend him for doing that, and I told him like he's a better man than me, because I couldn't see myself allowing myself to be in a situation like that. But he stuck in there with her until she passed away, my grandmother. So I mean, it is what it is.
But he loved her. That's what love, that's what real love is. Like she had all those kids and he loved her enough to stay with her and stick by her and take care of them kids and love her.
Right. I don't.
Even though she had all those kids.
Yeah, like some men can do that. Some men are built for that, and I commend and I respect those men that are built for that. I'm just
You
talking
saying
about
that
myself. Like,
that just ain't your ministry. Hey, I'm
yeah,
not I'm not mad at you. I
like
feel
she
you.
has
I'm not
six
mad at you.
children. She has six of them. That's a lot. I can't see myself dealing with, and because I was married to a woman, excuse me, that
Mm-hmm.
had one child, and the man, the headache of dealing with that child was to the point to where I was like, man, it's going to be hard for me to want to actually be committed to somebody that have children already, because I understand the responsibility that comes with that. Like, what if that child is out of control? Have an attitude problem that'll talk to me any type of way that he thinks that he can, and I can't say anything or do anything to him or her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cautious about allowing myself to be in a situation like that, because I know like my temper level, and I know what I can tolerate and what I can't, because of past experiences. Now,
Hmm.
to say that I'm at the point to where like I'm not willing to look at things a little bit more calmer now because I'm older, I'm not saying that, but I'm leaning on my past experiences to what it is that I can and can't tolerate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I know that it's hard for somebody like me to like,
No.
find a woman. No, no, I'm just being like, it's hard for somebody that's in like me. I'm in my 40s, with no children. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
hard for a man like me to find a woman who doesn't have any children, especially in my age range. Like usually I would have to go younger, you know, and that's frowned upon
That's
because
not true. That's not. I know
it's
quite a bit of women that are in their 40s that do not have children. Quite a bit of
but
women that I know that don't have kids.
yeah, but once you get to that age and you don't have any children, it's harder to have a child when you're in your 40s and you're a woman. That's just biology, basic biology. And what if I want a child in the future? And that it'll be less likely with a woman in her
Tell it.
40s to be able to to provide that to me.
Yeah, okay. Tell it to my mama. Tell that to me, Bob. I am 41. I can still have at least 4 or 5 more children if I wanted to. I chose not to. I am healthy enough where I can have more children. I chose not to. I stopped having kids at 33. The doctors told me you can have more children. I said hell to the no. And at that time, I was having my 4th child. If I
Okay,
wouldn't have stopped, I could have literally had 10 kids. My body is just that healthy. And I said, no, there is no way I will have that many children. There is no way. I am not a baby factory. This body is not for babying. It is for trying to bathe on the maybe on the beach somewhere. I am not trying to be pushing out babies all the way up until I'm 65 years old. I'm not for it. But
okay, I get what you're saying.
but
It might be women out there that's like that, but I'm just saying the majority of women, once they hit a certain age, it's harder for them to have children. You have women out here like Ebony K. Williams. She talks about how hard it is for her to have a child, and she's trying to do it through in vitro fertilization, and she's haven't been having success with that because it's hard for her body to accept the fertilized egg going into her and developing that
but
child. So
I have to disagree because you have a lot of women in their 20s that have problems having babies. A lot of women in their 30s have a problem having babies. So I think it honestly depends on the woman. Every woman is different. Everybody's lineage, everybody's DNA, everybody is different. Like again, I have so many aunties, it's ridiculous. Again, I can have more children if I want to. I can go right now, go in vitro and have a baby, and within 9 months, we be having a little mayhem. Right now, I chose not to because I'm not doing that no more. I'm done. My oldest is going to be 22. My baby is 8. I'm done. I'm not having no more, but I can if I want to. But again, I'm not going to be in my 40s having more kids over and over, but I can. There's nothing wrong with my body to where I can. And I know multitudes of women that have had babies in their 40s, 41, 43, 45. And these babies are healthy. They're good. They're straight. Ain't nothing wrong with them. Again, it depends on the woman. And again, I know some women that are in their 20s, their 30s, that are having a hard time trying to have babies. So again, it kind of depends on a woman. Who is to say you do get you a younger woman and y'all do have a problem, Lord forbid, knock on wood, and it is an issue with fertilization or a problem trying to conceive. And she's a
yeah,
younger woman. She's a
yeah,
younger woman. So you would expect her eggs and her body to be more vital to carry your seed, correct?
yeah. I agree with what you're saying.
And she
I'm
could have
just
the same
using,
problems as a 40 or 50-year-old.
but I'm just using, the scientific data that's been put out there. Like after the age of 40, it does get harder for women in general. After
Mm-hmm.
the age of 40, it gets harder for women in general to have children. And I'm looking at, like the scientific studies that was put out there,
Mm-hmm.
you
I
know,
get what you're
so
saying.
so it does for the majority, not all. It's never all, but for the
Mm-hmm.
majority of women, after 40, it becomes an issue. Now, I understand that there's women that deal with it their whole lives where they're barren, but it's the what I'm gonna say, it's a higher possibility for me to get somebody that's younger than me pregnant. It's a higher probability. is I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I
I
look at
trust.
it that way, so I'm because I'm like I'm at the point in my life where I'm okay if I don't
Mm-hmm.
have any children. Like I would like one, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally fine being childless. Like because all my other friends they have children, and I see their struggles. So it's not it's not like when I was younger. I used to be like, man, like I felt like it was a void, you know, with me not having a child. But now I'm getting more comfortable with who I am as a person, to
Mm-hmm.
where it is that I don't have to validate my manhood by
Mm-hmm.
hitting certain, benchmarks in life that most people say that you need to hit. Like they say,
Absolutely.
because you got some people out there like, oh, you're not a real man until you have a child of your own or you're raising a child as your own. Like, nah,
Is that true?
like a real man is somebody that was born with the body parts and that's grown up. That's what a real man is, like a biological man like me. you
Right.
know
A real man is a man that can take care of their responsibilities, that know how to take care of themselves, that knows how to be honorable, that knows how to act accordingly, that knows how to distinguish themselves, that know how to act appropriately. That's a man. A man is not someone out here terrorizing females, cussing out females, acting a fool with females. They know how to talk to females. It's difference between a man and a boy. Little boys cuss out women. Men don't do that because little boys don't know no better. Grown men do. So it's
Right.
a way men carry themselves. So no, just because you don't have children, that doesn't make you any less of a man. Just because of a woman doesn't have children, that don't make her any less of a woman. Just don't have no kids. And
Right.
again, I have some of my friends, they didn't have kids until they were in their 40s. And I have some of my friends that said, look, itch, I don't want no kids. Don't be putting your kid voodoo on me. If you rub your body, I will hurt you because I don't want no kids. Stay away from me. Like when I would get pregnant with my children, like everyone would avoid me like the plague. They would say no because you're contagious. Every time you get pregnant, one of us have some type of scare. Get away from us. Like no, no, no. So again, some of my friends have no children and they're fine with that. And some of my friends, it's true, binge think I am so serious. They avoided me like I had black plague walking around here, like it was 1800s. They was like, They had crucifixes. I'm like, they left the baby packages outside the door. I'm like, it's whatever.
Well, I have a question for you.
What's the question?
Because I
I
want to reel back into like the main topic, because I
oh,
know we kind of like steered off topic a little bit, but I
we're
kind of
going
want to
back
go
to the
go
game,
back.
the swag.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The question
Yes.
I have for you is,
Mm-hmm.
have you had an experience where you knew a person was, like running game on you, but you
Mm-hmm.
still gave that person an opportunity? If you did, why?
Um oh yeah, absolutely. My kid's father. The hell? Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. He was a debonair cavalier little SOB. I ain't gonna lie. He was very suave, very debonair. And our first few years together was fine until, I saw the game. But by the time I saw the game, I wound up pregnant. I'm like, damn it. Too late. And I was like 6 months when I found out all the BS he was on. I'm like, oh my God. So why did I stay after knowing it was game being played? Again, I was pregnant. I wanted to make, okay, I was that maybe this baby's coming's going to change. He won't be acting all deranged and slumerish. That didn't work. Oh, that amped him up more. Why did that amp him up more? Because I was stuck in the house with a baby. It was either I was going to work or I was coming right back home to the baby. So he was really willy nilly. He could do whatever he wanted to do. So again, I saw that and I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to bounce. Like, peace. hit the peace sign. I got to go. And so, yes, to answer your question, yeah, I saw the game that he was playing, running around with different women, and I'm like, okay, I don't have time for this.
Okay,
Could I have
so
done the same thing? Yeah. I could have, but what's the point?
so you didn't see the game until after you were pregnant.
I didn't see the game until I found out after I was pregnant at 6 months. And the only reason I saw the game is because I got a phone call.
No, see, I was talking about not in a situation like that. I'm talking about where you knew from the beginning, from the jump,
Oh no,
that
no, I have never been in a situation like that. No, no,
okay,
it was where a game was being played where that's the only game I've been in like that type, not where oh we finna kick it and no.
no,
Mm-mm.
I mean because like I've heard women say like, "Oh, I just wanted to use him. He was just a
Oh
body, so I
no,
just did
no,
that."
no, no, I'm too emotional for that. No, oh no, 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 uh
No, I
I have
mean, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm just saying no. I've never been where. Oh, man. He was just for me to get my little offense, so I can go on about my business. Get my no, no. He was just for me, something for me to get my little, that no, no. It was either this was a commitment or it was some type of relationship or like again, all of my relationships have been very, very long. They've been very long. The shortest relationship I've been in is like a year and a half. The
Okay,
longest I was in was 9.5, almost 10 years. So I've never been in, you know, those type of situations.
okay. Well, I had a story to share as
Let's
far as like how I like how game has how I found out that game doesn't really work for everybody. And I remember I was this is back when I was in high school. I was working at a fast food restaurant, and it was a girl that I liked, and I wanted to I would like I had my hormones going on just like everybody else did. And so I had went to one of my friends like, man, what should I do? How should I talk to this girl to, get her to, want to be with me? And he was like, man, just tell her that you interested. You want to take her out to the movies. Y'all gonna hang out, have a good time or whatever. And so I did that, right? And she was kind of hesitant. And then she was like, well, I'll see, right? And then I didn't understand that the guy, he also had his eye on her. And
Mm.
so he had ran the same game on her.
Hey VS
Uh,
Icon, how
and
are you? Sorry, I'm sorry I had to speak to
no,
VS.
that's
Hey
all right.
VS, how you doing? VS, this is just Bob Bowman, just Bob Bowman. This is VS Icon.
Hi, hi, VS. What I was gonna say, like, yeah, so he had said pretty much the same thing I said, not word for word, but almost the same thing, right? But she went along with him, and he said this after I had initially said what I had to say, So it was like, and then she was like, I was, like, she was like, it seemed like y'all both said the same thing, but she was like, well, I was feeling him more. It's like, you know, I guess he was better looking to her than I was at the end of the day. So it was like I learned that just because you say the right things and you do the right things, you try to, establish something with somebody, it still possibly won't work. And it's like you had these guys out here charging people $1,000 for like, courses on quote unquote game. Like you had gaming coaches out here that do that, So it's pretty much useless,
Yeah,
because it's like the woman has to like you. in order for it to work in
Exactly.
the first place. It doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter how you dress or what money that you have, because there's people that have a lot of money and they still can't find nobody. And the
Yep.
reason is because they, you know, I don't know. Like, what if it's something else about them that's preventing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? You know, only that person knows. But what do you have to say about that? Hello, are you still there?
He thinks you're giving great commentary. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Okay, I
Yeah, I
said
can
for
hear you
one,
now.
VS Icon says that you're giving great commentary,
Oh,
which is
thank you,
awesome.
thank you.
Um, but and Bench Thinker thinks that that's exploitation. To me, that's what Bench Thinker is thinking. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying. It's it's but it's like what I said before. It's that slippery slope. It's that little line. Again, you're expecting something from somebody, knowing that this is not what you want. You know,
Right,
you still expecting something, knowing damn well this is not what you want, and knowing this is not the expectations you have for the other person.
right. I mean, and one thing that I've learned over the years is that, you know, like I said, game isn't just like lying to get what it is that you want. You could be honest, and it's
Yes.
about having knowledge. Because you have some people that say, "Oh, when you go overseas, you don't need game," and I'm like, that's stupid. Because you need to know the culture over there. You need to know
Yes.
how the people are over there. You need to know how to interact with the women over there to a certain degree in order to date successfully. You know what I'm saying? And you need to know how to carry yourself in different countries so you won't, you know, cause any disturbances and end up locked up like a lot of people are
Oh,
finding out. Because it's
yes.
not just men that's being locked up, even though it's not
Women
being
too.
reported. But now you have women where like they are being put, the spotlight is being put on them about their
Yes.
behaviors overseas, because it's
Yes.
like these countries are real strict. You know, like you have, it's one country, Singapore, where
Yes.
you can get fined or go to jail for spitting on the ground.
Yes. Throwing gum on the ground. Do you remember that
Yeah.
boy got caned?
Came for, yeah, for spray painting the building. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. He got caned for spray painting the building. You cannot go into different countries doing what we do over here in America. You cannot do that. Like, we are destructive over here. Let's not get it twisted. We destructive over here. You cannot go over there in Rome like they found the boy that keyed him and his girlfriend's name into part of one of the Roman buildings in
Right.
Rome. You can't go over there destroying people's property. You have to do as other tourists do, just like the women in Dubai over there screaming. You cannot scream obscenities. You cannot be cussing out there in public. You know, it's certain things that you cannot do in different countries. You can't do it.
Right. And um I like I said, I've been to the Dominican Republic twice, and
Okay.
I saw a clip of somebody that was down there where
Hmm.
he was in the club and he was tossing money like in the air, you know, just tossing it around.
And that's
And
disrespectful though.
yeah, it was very like he didn't understand, because here in America people do it and they don't like, and they don't see it as being disrespectful.
Hmm.
But in that country it's disrespectful, because you know you have people that, you know, like they have a hard time getting any money for food or for shelter and things of that nature, and they're
Yep.
behind on bills and things like that. And so you come into their culture and their country, throwing money in the air, you know, disrespecting them as a people, disrespecting their women, because like they were ready to like rob and hurt that guy until somebody like pulled him to the side and straightened him out where he wasn't
Mm,
doing that anymore.
for real, for real.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, he almost got hurt pretty bad doing that, and
Wow.
so it's like, and having knowledge of what to do and what not to do in certain countries, that's game.
Absolutely.
Uh, it,
Absolutely.
it was another guy who went down there and he only took $700 with him and he didn't have any extra money or a credit card or anything with him, and
Mhm.
he ended up being stranded down there. Like he missed his flight and he needed $100 to reschedule his flight, and he didn't have the extra $100.
Hmm.
And you can't go to a country, not prepared for like the worst. Not
But how
because you
you
got,
leave a country with only $700?
huh?
How you only leave the country with $700?
Well, he only went down there for a week, and if you and because I've been down there before, so I know, like, if you go down there and you're on a budget, if you budget yourself really frugal, you can do okay with 700, like for just 1 week. Get you a hotel room that'll run about $50 a day, so that's $250 right there if you down there for 5 days.
Okay.
And you have to go to the grocery store and get food and ration that food out so you can have that for the few days that you're gonna be down there. And and then you can like go to probably the restaurant once or twice during that whole time, or go on one date, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
so if you understand like how to manage your money, like if you only have that much, where it won't hurt you that much, it's doable. But
Okay.
he overdid it. Like he was splurging all of it, and then he ended up being
Ah.
flat broke, couldn't get home, was begging for cash apps online so he could have money to get home.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they was framing him as being a so-called passport bro, and I was just like, he's not really a passport bro because he doesn't have the knowledge or the whereabouts of how to conduct himself and how to protect himself in case he has an emergency like that. Like when I went down there, I had enough money to where I knew I would be okay, but I
Right.
also had emergency money, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Just in case something happened. And the last time I went down there, like I was coming back home and my flight ended up being delayed. And then I had to wait until like late in the night. And then I ended up being stuck in New Jersey overnight. And I had, yeah. And so I had to have enough money to eat. You know, I wasn't sleepy and I didn't know where I would like go to sleep. So I didn't sleep in the hotel. I just stayed at the airport overnight, and dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? But I had enough
Right.
money and I had enough resources just in case. You know what I'm saying? And things like that happen, but you have to have an understanding of the different risks when you go down there. Like, you have people that, you know, you have to be able to spend money sometimes when you don't want to with the locals, just so they won't mess with you or send people your way. Because if you come off like rude or stingy, they'll be like, all right, we gonna try to mess with this person, see what they got and try to take what it is that they got. So you have to be really cautious and really understanding of how the culture is.
That's where that game come in at.
Exactly.
That's why a binge thinker also said Mr. Bob is insightful. She says you're very
well,
smart.
well, one thing, and this is part of game too. Like I have a friend that visited these countries before I went and visited him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been like me. I met him in the Navy, and I
Okay.
have a video where I interview him on my page, my channel, just Bob Bowman. And
Yes.
this is from several months ago. I had talked to him and we had a discussion about the different countries that he has been to, where he wants to go. And when I first got my passport and I was thinking about traveling overseas, he was the guy that I went to for advice. He pointed me to the hotels to go to. He pointed me to the restaurants to go to, and he made sure that when I was down there that I met up with some people that he knew personally that I would be connected with, and then they would show me around even more, and I was able to have a great time because I was prepared, you know,
Right.
and
People that
I
were
knew
okay.
how, yeah, and
Cool.
I knew how the people were down there because he described to me like the do's and don'ts and things of that nature. So, it was a good time. And, I've been twice and I plan on going back in a few months. And I'm also going to Colombia. So,
Okay. When you going to Colombia, that's what, next year sometime, right?
yeah, January.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah. So it's a good experience, like I'm starting to learn more about myself and understand what it is that I'm willing to tolerate and what I'm not willing to tolerate. And I'm just
Absolutely.
learning how to enjoy life without, the societal pressures on me.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest part of being able to enjoy life, keep your mental sanity, and not have to worry about the pressures of society. Just
Right.
enjoying yourself and enjoying life. That's the whole kicker.
Yeah, and that's a part of game. Game is also learning how to accept who you are individually and understand where you fit into society and what it is that you can do to either be able to tolerate it or to make certain changes in it to where you could be
Mhm.
at least a little bit happy with where you at, where you're at. So I mean that's where I'm at currently. So
Or what
I
things
mean
would
it's
make you
cool.
a little bit happier,
Huh?
or things that would make you a little bit happier.
What things you're
I
asking?
said, or what things would
Oh,
make you a little bit happier.
oh yeah, yeah,
I agree with what you're saying.
yeah. And now I'm able to hang out with people and have no expectations, just hanging out, not
Right.
trying to be in anybody's face or be disrespectful or trying to get somebody to like me that ain't giving me the signals or whatever. So I'm cool with just like being myself and being laid back because I'm mostly laid back. You know,
Right. Just
I
kicking
don't.
it, just
Yeah,
chilling.
yeah, that's me. I don't like. I really don't like cold approaching. I really don't. And if I don't know you, 9 times out of 10, I won't like say anything to you unless it's something that's you know that stands out, that's glaring. Then I might have an interaction. But other than that, no.
And you like, nah, I ain't got nothing to say, bro. Keep it pushing.
Right.
like, I totally get it. It's, I get it. It's
Yeah.
understandable.
And I have my certain places that I like to hang out at. So, you know,
Right.
I kind of stick to my routine and I'm happy with it.
Right. Long as you're happy with your routine and you're comfortable with it, that's all that matters. You happy and you comfortable with it. And it's you. That's all that matters.
Right. And that's the real game. The real
Right.
game is learning how to be comfortable within your own skin.
Yep. Being comfortable within your own self and being just comfortable with you. Like, that's the real game.
Right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. All I have as far as game goes.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I have as much as game goes. Bench, think you got some on game. Probably like, nah, I don't got nothing on game.
I got as much game as Pops Off Friday. You remember that scene where Q was talking to his mother and she was like, "Oh, you ain't got no game," and then he was like, "Well, your father got game," and he came out the bathroom like nobody going there for 25, 35, 45 minutes.
Like spread that effervescent.
Yeah, that's
No,
game.
that's game. Shut up. Eat your breakfast. But that's right. Don't get played. That's right, binge thinker. Don't get played.
Right.
Well, that's going to be end of our podcast today for the Mayday Mayhem podcast. We will be back next week. And what did we say?
Yeah, we're gonna
That's my
talk about.
comment. Okay, don't get played.
Okay.
Next week we will be talking about conspiracy theories. Now, just Bob Bowman, he knows that I love conspiracy theories, from MK Ultra to Mandela effects to the aliens in the backyard, front yard, side yard. I think I got a couple of aliens roaming around in my house. They're called children.
Oh, and then the author David Icke.
Author David Icke. We will be talking about him. Him. So,
Right.
please join us next week for our episode of Mayday Mayhem podcast, where I am your host, Mayday Mayhem.
And this is just Bob Bowman.
So we'll see you next week for another episode of the Mayday Mayhem podcast. Again, where we'll be discussing a different conspiracy theory, along with talking about
Just general life, I guess.
you're supposed to mention Ike.
Oh yeah, David Icke. David
Jesus.
Icke.
We will also be talking about David Icke. We got to rehearse this a little bit, Bo. No,
Okay.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you, just Bob. We'll also be talking about David Icke. See, that's what I'm talking about. Conspiracies, the conspiracies. You know what I'm talking about, binge thinker. That's my ish. Life is a conspiracy. So again, we'll see y'all next week. I'm Mayday Mayhem, and this is
Just Bob Bowman.
And I'm going to end my podcast the way I always end my podcast. If no one told you they love you, I do. I truly, truly do. Make sure you do better yesterday than you did today, and strive for a better tomorrow today. Again, be the best you can be. It's only one of you. You're special. Yes, David Icke. Yes. You're special. You're one of a kind. And again, everyone stay safe, stay healthy. I can't talk. I'm tongue-tied. I don't know what these kids put in my juice. It might be blueberries, and they know I'm allergic to blueberries. So, got to check this drink. So, again, I'll see y'all next week, and I'm out.